Alright, so we're going to look at long division very quickly. I'm going to try and make this as clear as possible. This one's a nice example because we've got terms in every place. Just make sure if we're dealing with like x cubed minus 2x squared plus 6, we'd have to put 0x in. You have to have a number represented for every term, otherwise it doesn't work. And the process repeats over and over again, but the first thing we need to do is ask, how many times does x go into x cubed? X squared times. And what we do with this x squared is we multiply it down into each term. So then I would get x cubed minus x squared. Sweet? I subtract those. So remember, I have to subtract both terms. So x cubed minus x cubed is? Don't have to write that. Negative 2x squared minus negative x squared is? Negative 1x squared. Great answer. I heard lots of us saying the same thing then. I then bring down my negative 5x. So I've got minus 5x. Restart the process. I've got a new line. So I say, well, how many times does negative x squared go into x? Negative x times. I multiply down again. Hot tip, it's always the same on both. Negative x goes into, negative x times negative 1 is? Plus x. I then subtract these. So I've got negative x squared minus negative x squared, which gives me? Negative 5x minus x gives me? Negative 6x. What am I going to do with this? Bring it down. Keep the sign the same. How many times does negative 6x go into x? Negative 6 times. I do the multiplication. I get negative 6x. Negative 6 times negative 1. I subtract those from each other. So I've got a remainder 0, which is perfect. What I can do with that now is, rather than represent my sum like this, I can represent it instead as and what's the value in that? I can factorize that further, so I get x minus 1, x minus 3, x plus 2. And now I've got a fully factorized version of a quadratic. Clear?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dad.
No problem. Now, if I wasn't given this, so in this situation I've been given this, I would use trial and error to try and find my first factor. I can see here that 1 minus 2 minus 5 plus 6 is 0. That's how I knew that x minus 1 was a factor. Cool? Because when I sub positive 1 in, I get a root. So when I know that x equals positive 1, I have to rearrange that and get x minus 1 equals 0. That's my first factor. And then we go from there. And you can use trial and error to figure your way through that. Sweet.